ain't no friend to me.
We are waging war on mediocrity. It's your boy, the motivational teacher to the masses, bringing you again another edition of Motivational Monday. Happy Monday to you all out there. For all my replayers, please give me about let's say a minute as I share this out to my top 5. And as always, please share this out to your top 5 as well. Y'all know what the motivational teacher is about to say. If they can't grow with you, they can't go with you. Anybody that you want to keep in your circle and in your life for this season, share this out to them, because I'm telling you, there are a lot of people out there that need this information about self-love. And tonight I'm going to talk about self-image, that they need this information in order to prove their self-esteem. So go ahead and tell your mom and them, your cousin and what's up, mom? Thank you for hopping on here. Go ahead and type names and then post a comment box. See, my beautiful wife is already on here as well. Go ahead and type names. Hey, what's up, Vanika? Hey, Virginia. I see YouTube out here tonight. If y'all would, go ahead and type names in the chat box. And anybody that get this share from me, just know that you're in my top 5, and I want us to grow together. Okay, so if you get this from me, don't say, hey, stop sharing information with me or don't any of that. Just know I care so much about you that I want you to go with me. And in order to go with me, you got to grow with me, because I'm telling you all that some places where you all are going, everybody ain't going to make it. What's up, Jorge? Thank you for joining us, bro. For some of us, some people not going to make it. Go ahead and type those names in here. Go ahead and get them friends and family in here. Tell them they got about 2 minutes to change in their life. And I'm about to share this out, and we're going to get on with the commence with the bread breaking. And I appreciate you all. Oh, that's so sweet, Vanika. Thank you for sharing. I think she's on Facebook. She can't see it, but let me just share this so she can see that. Come on, Lee. Go ahead and type names in there for me. What's up, Devon? Go ahead and get those names in there for me. Thank you, Vanika. That's so beautiful. Go ahead and get those names in there. Let's get our top 5 in here. I'm about to send mine. Give me 30 more seconds, man. I hope you all are having a good night. And tonight, I want to be somewhat uncut, Devon and Lee. I know for some of you all newcomers, but for y'all that's been here a while, I want to shout you all out for your consistency and for your ability to be able to say, man, I'm going to stay. I know it ain't always been perfect, and I know sometimes the words that we break can be challenging, but I love the commitment that you all have decided to stick around. Tonight, I want to go somewhat of a, I don't know, I don't think I've been uncut in about 8 months or close to a year where I've been uncut. And when I say I want to go Anthony Uncut tonight, I have a thought in my mind that I want to go over. But tonight I want to hear from you all. I want you all to get in that chat box and talk to me. I've been talking about self-love. I want to know what you're doing differently in your life since we've been talking about self-love. And tonight, episode 128 of Awaken, Here I Am, I'm going to hit self-image. I want to know how you've been adjusting your life and changing your behaviors as a result of these Motivational Mondays. And for some of you all who are on Bridging the Nations BTN, I want to know, hey, Lisa, I want to know how have you all been taking these words and applying them to your life? Because I get much joy by hearing the stories. Like this week, I heard a story from a guy that listened to these Motivational Mondays, reached out to me, social media, sent me a message and say he made a decision like before one of his family members asked him to go do something. And normally he would have just said yes without thinking. But he decided, no, self-love, that he decided to spend time with his son and do things that his son wanted to do. I think it was the last day of deer hunting. And instead of going with that family member, what he normally would have said yes, he decided to spend the last day of deer hunting with his son. That's something they both enjoy. So he chose himself and self-love, and he chose the thing that he wanted to do with his son at that moment and make that a priority. And I'm pretty sure that that son appreciated his dad making that, his 19-year-old son appreciated his dad making that decision to spend the last day of deer hunting with him over whatever somebody had invited him to do. So I love hearing those stories like that. Please, please, please communicate back and forth as you begin changing your life. Because not only do I get inspired by those stories, but it's somebody else out here. I'm looking down the list of names on YouTube and Facebook, and look like it's about even tonight, YouTube and Facebook. that will be inspired from the same story. So if you would, please just let us know. Tonight, episode 128, self-image. Awaken your I am, self-image. I said this statement yesterday on Bridging the Nations, and I say it pretty often, but I've never, he did, right? Come on, Devon. Hey, I love when brothers chime in this conversation as well. See, what the world has told us that there are not many brothers, when I say brothers, I mean males, that are not where they're in church, they're looking, they're growing, they're studying, they're becoming better. See, the world tells us that there's not a lot of us out there growing and doing the things that we're doing today. But I want to commend all the brothers that are on here that says, hey, I'm choosing my growth and self-development because I know the more I grow, the better I am for the people around me. So I want to applaud you all brothers that are out there growing. And I challenge some of you all's wives out here to get your husbands on here. I challenge you all to get your kids on here so they can hear the same information, because I'm telling you, once you have a common language and a common mindset in your house, everything moves smoother. And this is completely off my notes. The moment where everybody is on one accord in your house is the moment where your house moves without a lot of. I see other people out there chiming to my, where you at tonight? I'm like, you better go find it. I'm live right now. I can't be doing it. And when your house is on one accord, whether it's you and your baby, whether it's you and your son, whether it's you and your kid, whether it's you and your spouse, whether it's you and a cousin, it doesn't matter. Whoever you're with, when your house is on one accord, I'm telling you, that's when explosive growth takes place. That's what I'm talking about. All right, I got people chiming in this conversation. Vanika said, I finally when I got my eyebrows waxed. She said, it may be a waste of most, but since becoming a mother, I neglected those small things that make me feel good. I love it. You got to do it, man. If those small things make you feel better, you got to do those things. I mean, you got to think about it. We spend the majority of our lives, and I'm not telling anybody by any means to go blow your bill money and to go be selfish. But if it makes you feel better about yourself, looking in the mirror with your eyebrows done, and by all means, go get your eyebrows done. I'm telling you, we got to start making some changes, man. And at the center of the changes that we make is our self-image. Tonight, I want to talk. Come on, Kanika. Thank you for joining us tonight. Please share this. Go get my homeboy, set him around the computer. Tell him we about to go. We about to break bread. Episode 128, self-image. I said this comment, man only has one problem. That's it. And the true challenge of a man, when I say man, I mean Homo sapien, male, female alike, is to see himself or herself as God sees them. This is not religious. I'm not going into tonight. I'm talking about self-image. If my self-image is rooted in what I think about me, or if it's rooted in what I did in the past, or if it's rooted in what other people have said about me, my self-image will be flawed. I'm gonna break bread tonight. Man only has one image to see the reflection of the great I am through his awakened I am when I look in the mirror. Somebody, that's a bread breaking moment. That I only need to see myself. If God has thrown my sins away from me as far as the east is to the west, why am I still condemning myself by the version of how I see myself? Why am I still talking about what I don't deserve when God has said, I've given you a cattle on 1,000 hills? When he's given me a mind, oh my God, my secret weapon. When he's given me a secret weapon called a mind, that I can do all things through him who strengthens me, that I have the ability to use my brain, use my mind, and begin to create what I want to see. I only got one problem in life. Every issue in your life springs from you not knowing who you are. Yesterday on Bridging the Nations, we talked about Peter. When the storm was going on, and Peter said, oh, do you not care that we're about to die? Peter had one problem at that moment. He didn't see himself as God. He said, man, where is your faith? Or where did you put your faith? He did not see himself as God sees him. And for most of us, how can I say this? The challenge, we've been talking about self-love. We've been talking about you taking care of you. And all right, I'm gonna break bread. To me, that is not the root. That is a symptom. To me, that's not the true problem. That is a symptom of the true issue that's in our life. It's not the fact that that I just don't want to love myself. It's the fact that I don't feel that I'm worthy. And whether the image of my worthiness, where did I create the image of my worthiness? And see, that's why people who are challenged sometimes with suicide, who are challenged with sometimes a mental process and bipolar, a lot of those, it's a mental imbalance. I'm not taking away from that. And it's a true disability. I'm not taking away from that. But I'm saying for a lot of us, it's where did I get my image of myself? At what point did I start believing that taking care of everybody else but me was my priority? At what point did I believe that I'm not worthy to have the big corner office? At what point did I believe that I'm not worthy to have the courtside seats? At what point did I start believing that I'm not worthy of having my toes and my nails done every once a week? At what point did I communicate to myself that I'm not worthy of God's true reflection? Oh, it's going to be a bread breaking. I know the nights where it's going to be a bread breaking moment. What is my self-image? At one say I communicated with my supervisor that I was going to have a properly compensated for my expertise. Come on, bro. Awaken your I am. Awaken your I am. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Vaniqua. That's what I'm talking about, Edwin. The image of who I am requires more. And if you don't want to give me more, I would, boy, don't make me go there. Because once you put a higher price and demand on your value, the world has been taught. Come on, man. The world has been taught to give you what you're worth. Hey, it's as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. What does that mean? You determine your worth. You determine your value. You determine your value. If your skill set is that of heads and the shoulder above your peers, you set the market for you. Awaken your I am. And people that don't see your value just mean for this season of your life, they haven't been given to you. Let me say this. For people that don't see the same self-image that you see, and I know, listen, I'm not telling anybody on here. I know the people looking at me. These are the people that's been grinding. These are the people been growing. These are the people been here Monday after Monday. That's determining their value. They're growing. They're seeking who they are, whose they are, and through them, who he is through you. Once you start knowing and see yourself as God sees you, and you begin to add the value that God sees in you, your market potential goes up. I'm talking about your own self-image. What's an image? An image is a picture or reflection of something produced by a device. Listen to your boy now. A picture or reflection of something produced by a device. As a mirror or a lens. We watch the images on the screen. It was reproduced. Motivational teacher to the masses. What is my self-image? Bread broken. It's the projection of what you are on the inside, outside, that tells the world how to communicate with you. That is your image. Oh, that's a bread breaking moment. Let me read it. A picture or reflection of something produced by a device. What is my body? A device. What is my true image? What my body reflects to the world. What's up, Q? What is my image? It's what's on the inside of me that is reflected from my body. When I look in the mirror, I see an image of what's going on the inside. If I'm scattered and cluttered on the inside, when I look in the mirror, I see a scattered and cluttered Anthony. If I believe that I'm less than on the inside, when I look in the mirror, it's a reflection of what I believe. If I think that I'm more than a conqueror, that the great I am has awakened my I am, when I look in the mirror, my awakened I am is a reflection of what I believe. The thing that I know is that can I say this? The thing that I know, your soul is in more harmony than your spirit and your body. Your soul and your body is in more harmony than your spirit and your body. Let me say it this way for spiritual people. Your deity versus your humanity is shown more in your body than your spirit is shown more in your body. Why? Because this body came from the dirt. It came from this earth. And it reflects, come on, man, that if I don't, that's why growth has to be a priority in your life, because your body is naturally built to reflect what's going on the inside. And because you're in this world, we should not be of this world. That the cares of this world is sometimes reflected externally. Have you ever somebody ever looked at you and said, "Man, you look sad. I see your emotions on your body. Like what's on your mind? I can see you thinking." Have anybody said, "Man, you look like you're tired"? You know what they're saying? That they're not saying that physically your body look tired, but internally you're tired on the inside, and your reflection of fatigue is showing on the outside. What's up, Pat? Thanks for joining us. I'm breaking bread in here tonight, Pat. So your image of what you see in the outside, people make these commitments and they communicate to the world. I've always been this way. No, that's an image of how you are on the inside. That what you are on the outside is totally determined by what you are on the inside. I've always been this way. There is no way you've always been a way, because when you were born, you came in this world. John Piaget said you came in this world as a tabula rasa, a blank slate. Let's get it. Let's get it, Pat. You came into this world a blank slate by John Piaget. You came into this world a blank slate, and everything that you say I've always been has been communicated to you from your environment that's who you are. And what you are externally is just a image of what you are internally. That's all. I'm breaking bread right now. Boy, I feel this. I'm going back and listening to this one myself. I'm breaking bread real early on this things. See, whatever controls your image, controls your imagination. Whatever controls your image controls your imagination. Whatever controls your thoughts and your thinking controls your external manifestation. What you see externally is an image of what's going on internally. We cannot change that reality. I've always been broke. No, you've not always been broke. Since you adopted the image and imagination of a broke individual, that makes you broke. Your mindset and your thought doesn't make you broke. Hey, what's up, Lamont? Thank you, bro, for the jersey retirement. Yep, I appreciate that, bro. Thank you so much. That was a great moment, man. I was so happy that I could share that with my friends and my family, man. My high school retired my jersey. When was it? On Thursday night. A great event, man. I got a chance to speak to the kids. I think the YouTube video right now of my speech is like at 400 views. So it was a great night, and I appreciate you for bringing it up, homeboy. Thank you so much. And believe it or not, I gave those kids some of the same wage and war conversation that we're having right now. Like game recognizes game, real recognizes real. Real recognizes real. Thank you, Vanika. Thank you, Lisa. Real recognizes real. And in order for us to change our lives, we got to change the image. Like you can only produce the image of what you believe. Like the image, the external image is just a reflection of what's inside. Until I begin to change my self-image of who I am and how I communicate myself, the world can give us no other treatment. The world can give us no other manifestation. I'm breaking bread up in here tonight. Thank you, Mom. I'm breaking bread up in here tonight. Whatever controls your image controls your imagination. Whatever controls your image is what controls your imagination. If you think you're nothing but a lowly slice, a piece of bread, if you think that there's not much to you, then guess what? You will carry yourself and you will present yourself to the world as there's not much to me. Woe is me. Everything is working against me. Oh, every time I take 2 steps forward, I get knocked 3 steps back. If you present yourself, your image to the world as that, guess what's going to happen? Every time you take 2 steps, you're going to get knocked back 3 steps. I'm waging war tonight. I'm waging war tonight. I'm waging, man, if y'all better tell your mom and them to get on here, because some of these same people that's sitting there that's trying to tell you who you are not struggle with their own self-image. There's no way that oh my God, can I say this and be true? Can I say this and be true? If you're hanging with people with a low self-image and low self-esteem, if your top five are people with that have self-esteem problems and don't see themselves anymore, then I'm just a nobody trying to tell somebody. I'm telling you, that's your image that you're projecting. There's no way that somebody with a strong self-image can draw. Let me say it this way: there's no way that chickens can hang with eagles. Come on, Keisha Harris, talk to me. There's no way chickens can hang with eagles. If you're looking around a bunch of folk that have no goals and no dreams, and they have no self-image, no self-esteem, no self-concept about what I want to do, then you're number 6. Come on, Pat. Then you're number 6. Because your image, come on, man. Your image determines, your internal image determines your external. What you see here is a reflection of what's in here. You can't fix the external without fixing the internal. That's what self-love and self-care and self-image is all about. I see myself as being worthy. I see myself as being worthy of the one to carry the crown. I see myself as being worthy of being a millionaire. I see myself as being worthy of having a healthy relationship. Oh, I got my voice back now. It's on. I've been doing this last 3 weeks with no voice, but your boy is back and I'm live and I'm ready to go. I see myself as worthy. I'm challenging some of y'all to see yourself as worthy. You're waiting till everything changes externally before you see yourself as healed, before you see yourself as prosperous, before you see yourself in a great relationship. I'm waiting on all this stuff to change on the outside. Newsflash, that is an image of what's going on the inside. The real is on the inside of you. Everything you see outside is an image. Boy, I'm breaking bread. It's almost like the external is a shadow. All a shadow is a silhouette of what's real. The shadow is not real. The object is what's real. And it's almost like the outside, the external, is a shadow of what's internal. I'm talking about your self-image tonight. If anybody get on here and hang up tonight, man, I wonder, are you breathing? Because anytime somebody's trying to tell me that I'm worth more than what I believe I am, anytime that people trying to tell me how to communicate my value to the world, I'm sitting there and I'm listening until the last word is spoken. And I guarantee it's the same people complaining about their lot in life. I barely got enough. I can't get along. Woe is me. I guarantee it's the same person that sit there and waiting on Ed McMahon to bring $1 million through the door, waiting on Steve Harvey to call them with a clearinghouse check. I'm telling you, the same person going to Georgia line to buy a lottery ticket is the person getting off this thing, and they very well is the person that needs to be here. At least if you buy lottery tickets, it tells me that there's some level of belief that I should have more. Now, I ain't not saying that put your faith in lotto. I'm telling you how to hit a sure thing, and the sure thing is by improving your own self-image. The only way, like that's the thing about success. That's the thing. I am a student of success. I study successful people for a living. I'm on my 12th book this year. I'm telling you, I am a student of success. I'm taking what I get and I'm simplifying it for us to take it and run with it. I am a student of success. Successful people are not sitting back just hoping and praying. Oh, that's a bread-breaking moment. Successful people don't sit back and just hope and pray. Successful people don't sit back and they don't take risk, and they don't wage war. Successful people are always looking to improve their own self-image because that communicates to the world my value, my worth. See, but some of us just want to come up where it requires me not to improve my own self-concept, my own self-image of who I am. It requires me not to improve my imagination. I've said it many times before, never chase the thought through, but man, we were created to live out of our imagination. All the greats, all the people we look at. I saw the commercial last night with LeBron. Oh, it was phenomenal. If you watch the Super Bowl, go back and look at LeBron's commercial. when they had the 16-year-old LeBron, but before he went to the NBA, talking to the 34-year-old version of LeBron, and they had the LeBron today tell the LeBron yesterday life lessons that he learned. Like, what would you go back and tell the younger version of you? It was awesome because 30-year-old LeBron talking to 16-year-old LeBron about be patient. Oh my God, it was awesome. Keep working hard. Like LeBron was giving himself lessons, but as LeBron was sitting there, I'm a student of success. I couldn't help but LeBron was talking to me because the 60-year-old version, oh my God, I'm breaking bread. The 43-year-old version of Anthony got a few options. I can talk to the 23-year-old version of Anthony, but also I got to communicate with the 63-year-old version of Anthony. I'm breaking bread right now. I saw the commercial. I said, no, come on, Ant, let's 10X this thing. Like that, there's a 63-year-old version of you, a 20-year version of who you are. You got to start having conversations. Hey, you got to start having conversations with that image of who you are 20 years later. Boy, I'm working hard for you right now. I'm going in, I'm double-digit book saying, and it's February. I got pages of notes. Boy, I'm working hard for you right now. I'm saving 15% of my income. I'm putting it back in stocks and mutual funds. 63-year-old Anthony, I'm working hard for you right now. I'm going to learn more. So when you get here, you are set up for success for generations to come. 43-year-old version of Anthony got to work, got to build, baby, build. So 63-year-old image of who Anthony is can relax and rest because 43-year-old version is putting the work in. Oh, I'm breaking bread right now. We gotta improve our self-image because there's so much. Like even if you can go back like LeBron did and talk to the 23-year-old version of Anthony, boy, Ant, you're gonna have some tough days. You're gonna be in a room the size of a closet. You're gonna have a divorce. You're gonna have a foreclosure. You're gonna have some repossessions on your credit. You're gonna have 7 or 8 careers, but boy, keep the faith. Keep fighting. Keep believing that there's more to you. The more you believe that there's more to you, the more the world has to deliver to you. Don't believe what the naysayers say. You keep pushing and know that God said you're more than a conqueror. If I could go back and talk to that 23-year-old version of me, there wouldn't be so many tears by the time I hit 30. There wouldn't be so much disappointments, and I'll continue to look to the hills and say, I know this too must change. Oh my God, I'm breaking bread. Shedding another tear about what lost because the 63-year-old version of who Anthony is got to grind. Hey, Barbara, thank you for joining us. He got to put in the work. Oh my goodness, I need to literally just take that, cut that, and make it a reel by itself. If somebody just heard that segment right there, you will understand how your self-image of how you see yourself is not only tied to your past, but it's also tied to your future. That if you never get beyond how you see yourself at 23 or 33, that at 53, you're going to be looking at the same self-imagery, which means that the external cannot and will not change. Bread broken. Vanika just said before these motivational Mondays, I used to get through the day feeling sorry for myself and feeling sad. Vanika, you ran into the motivational teacher, and we sure enough gonna get you to where you supposed to go. That's why I'm here, man, and that's why I'm challenging people, man. I'm challenging each one of you all to make this a part of your consistent growth and development. To pencil Mondays and Sundays in with the motivational teacher and with BTN. Yeah, come on, Jackie. That's my auntie. Yep, that is my auntie. I wish I could talk to my 18-year-old self. Yep. I'm telling you, man, like seeing that commercial last night with LeBron put me in a different mind space. And like, I'm 43, I think. I'm 43 now, but at some point I'm gonna be 63. And I'm gonna be able to sit down at 63 and be able to talk to the 43-year-old version of who I was and say, man, you put in the work. You were hustling. You made sure your kids and your wife had everything they needed. You made sure that you gave up what you wanted today so that they can have what they need for tomorrow. You made what sacrifice was necessary. Now it's your time, boy. Now go get. I always want a Lincoln Navigator. Go get that Navigator cash that you've always wanted. See, me, it's not about big expensive things for me. It's about the things that I want, that I'm willing to put off until the time is necessary. Man, I'm breaking bread tonight. Yourself, come, hey Charlotte, thank you for joining us. Whatever controls your image controls your imagination. Your self-image is all about your imagination. Your imagination about self determines your, listen to your boy. Your imagination, so we're talking about self-image. Your imagination determines whether your self-image is positive or it's negative. The things that happen to you, but it's about your processing of what happens that determine your self-image, your imagination. How do I see myself? Most of that is done through your imagination and not necessarily through what I've seen. My imagination says, since everything is going wrong up until this day, that everything else is going to go wrong. I'm imagining it in the future, so therefore I am. I cannot outperform my own thought process, my own imagination. Of even God can't life hack your head and say, well, I want to give you a better image of yourself. Even he can't do that. That's why we have free moral will. If God can, like, bam, just hack your head, would Adam and Eve have ever sinned? That question is no. So there's a lot of us that have been asking God to do what we can only do ourselves through his awaken I am, through our awaken I am. The great I am awakens my I am. We've been asking him to hack our life when it's a process that we must learn how to matriculate through in order to get to the proper place where I can change my own self-image. That's a prayer breaking moment. The awakened I am is how you change your self-image. Seeing yourself as God sees you, calling yourself what he calls you, not how the world communicates to you. I'm telling you what the world told me one time I was. The world told me I was broke. The world told me I was busted. The world told me I was disgusted. The world told me I was a failure. And somewhat on the inside of me, I was linked to all of that because I had a spirit of poverty. That spirit of poverty is how I saw myself. So it was my own self-image. So if that was my self-image, the only picture I could get back to me externally in the world was foreclosures. It was robbing Peter to play Paul. It was barely making it. It was chapter 7, chapter 13. And the world communicated to the image of how I saw myself. I'm breaking bread. She says, since Lisa says, since listening to these Motivational Mondays, I've made Valentine baskets for 2 years and was successful both times. Woo, that's what I'm talking about, Lisa. I love seeing all this manifestation. I love seeing this stuff. And Lisa, it's man, I'm telling y'all, keep coming back because it's even more to you. That's a start. I celebrate that. Everything starts with a small beginning. Don't despise small beginnings. Celebrate where you are right now today, because your image of how you see yourself today is better than you saw yourself last year at the same time. Celebrate yourself. You don't need no parade. You know, the Rams just won the Super Bowl. They're going to have a big parade and all that stuff. We don't need all that pageantry. I'm going to celebrate myself. We're going to celebrate Lisa on here. Thank you, Vaniqua. We're going to shout Lisa out on these Motivational Mondays. See that? I'm telling you all, man, like, stop waiting for big news. Stop waiting until the big thing happens to start celebrating. But I dare you to start celebrating the small wins. One by one, I'm celebrating. Man, I sold 15 baskets last year. This year, I sold 15 and a half. Celebrate. Come on, break out. Wow. I'm telling you, let's start celebrating each other. I'm telling you, your self-image. Okay, Lisa, you tucked me here, but I got to go here. Part of our self-image is why we don't see ourselves as we should, is because we're waiting on something big to happen. Once the big thing happens, then I'll be happy about what I've accomplished. I'm telling you, the big thing doesn't happen until you get excited and you build milestones around the small wins. A bunch of small wins at some point become magnified and equal big wins. And see, the world has told us, like, I got to be a millionaire before I can do this, or the world has told us that I got to have this before I can be successful. No. Success is systematic improvement. If you're better this year than you were last year, celebrate. Whether you think you where you should be or not, but I know I'm better. I'm better than I was last year. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm better this year. Celebrate. Yes, celebrate. Well, right now, I know my goal was to save, $500 this year. I saved $450. I almost made it. I'm gonna take $5 of those dollars and go get me a hamburger. Celebrate it. You did better than you did last year. It wasn't the 500 you wanted, but last year you didn't save a nickel. So you saved $453 more than you did last year, and that's after eating a Big Mac. Celebrate. Find the victory in small wins and celebrate yourself. That helps improve your self-image. You are valuable, but the world cannot respond to you until you begin to believe you're valuable. Your image, your self-image is your concept of self. This concept is developed in your mind and projected into the physical universe. And once this concept is out there, it's interpreted and acted upon around the external stimuli, around people around you. Let me read that one more time. Find the victory in small wins. Come on, Mom. You got to find that victory in small wins. Don't wait till the big thing where you got your jersey retired. You know what, man? I'm going to say this, but whether they retired it or whether they didn't, I can't feel any better about myself than I do right now. If they never put it in the rafters and they just left it back there in the closet, it wouldn't have changed the image of how I see myself. Whether they gave me the promotion or whether they didn't give me the promotion, whether I got that speaking engagement, whether I didn't get that speaking engagement is not tied to how I see myself. I'm bread breaking right now. I know who I am and I know whose I am. And I know what resides on the inside of me, so my value can never be diminished. If you don't see my value, it just means for this season of time, I haven't been given to you. Maybe your eyes haven't been open to what truth is. I can't help that. I can't help that. I love the fact. Come on, man. Come on, Charlotte. Come on, Vaniqua. I'm about to break bread. I love the fact that when the prophet went in David's house, they went to the one they thought should have been king, his oldest son, his biggest son. They went to the one they thought should be king. He looked like he was a king on the outside. But the true king was out there watching sheep, adding value, sitting out there doing what his daddy asked him to do. Just I'm growing and I'm gaining and I'm growing. I saw a bear. I saw a lion. Oh my! I went and delivered the sheep from the lion's mouth. Come on, man! It's systematic growth. We want it all today. I'm telling you, you can't have it all today because it's in the process that you become it. It's through this process that I become the motivational teacher. It's through the process of you going through putting the bags together, Lisa, is where you grow. It's in the process of becoming the director of nurse that you actually become the director of nurse before you become the director of nurse. Oh, carnal ears can't hear what I just said. Oh, he's being very repetitive. Carnal ears can't just hear what I just said. It takes some spiritual insight to who you are in order to understand that last comment. He's repeating himself. He didn't repeat himself one time. He that has an ear, let him hear what the motivational teacher is saying to the masses. Oh my God, that was a bread breaking moment. It is the process of building who you are before you become it. Tyler Perry had TPS Studios the whole time, but there was a process to becoming Tyler Perry. J.K. Rowling rode around for 3 years with the first Harry Potter in her book. In her bag. The first Harry Potter was in her bag for almost 3 years. She went through a divorce. She got real sick. She went through all those different things before she ever brought Harry Potter to a publisher. And she went through multiple publishers that said no. But the whole time, she was a billionaire, one of the richest females in the world right now. She was a billionaire the whole time. She was walking around with Harry Potter in her purse, but she had to go through the process. She sat there at a coffee table and wrote the first 5 chapters of Harry Potter at a coffee house, broke, busted, divorced, and disgusted. And you telling me what you can't do based on what you've been through. You telling me what your self-image is based on how this world has communicated it to you through this world. I'm telling you that anybody worth their grit has gone through something and came out on the other side. You got to trust the process. It's in the process that you build your self-image. We've been so busy running from what we think we are because we think that I've always been this way. And you're forfeiting your greatness, and you got Harry Potter in your purse for three to 5 years, riding around with it in your purse because you're worried about everything going on around you, and you got $1 billion idea in your bosom. Because people don't see you, because you're waiting till you become a billionaire to communicate to the world who you are. What up, Coach T? Thanks for joining, man. It's been a bread-breaking moment tonight, Coach. You're waiting on the world to tell you how to communicate with it. I'm challenging you right now. I'm going to read this one more time. Your self-image, your image is your concept of yourself. Your self-image is your concept of yourself. Too many of us have allowed other people to speak our imagery. We've allowed our uncles, our grandma, our cousins to all tell us who they think we are. And they communicated into a way to us that we've internalized it. And now we make comments, I've always been that way. No, it's your concept of yourself. This concept is developed in your mind and projected into the physical universe. It's projected in your mind almost like a movie screen or a projector. And what you project out is what comes back. You cannot change what's coming to you if you don't change what's coming through you. Oh, bread-breaking moment. Let me say that one more time. You cannot change what's coming to you until you change what's coming through you. That's why you got to awaken your I am. We've tried for so many years to try to find different ways to get to the top. And I'm telling you, there's no way to the top unless you go through you. That's a bread-breaking moment. The concept is developed in your mind, projected into the physical universe. And once that concept is out there, it's interpreted and acted upon around the people around you. Man, I got a lot more stuff I can hit, but I need for that to breathe right now. I need for that to breathe right now because people treat you how you see yourself. People, if you allow yourself to walk around and not with your hair done and no makeup and you walking around with just, you look rough and beat up and don't brush your teeth and don't wash your face, people gonna treat you just like that. I'm telling you, if you clean yourself, I don't care if you got 2 nickels in your pocket, if you clean yourself up to the best, whatever the best of your ability is, if you clean yourself up, I guarantee you people gonna treat you differently based on the expression of how you look. Because when I see you, is all I see what's on the inside of you. Well, you know, I could be a millionaire and walk around and walk like I'm broke. Yeah, you can. But I tell you, more people out there, I ain't gonna even go there. You can do that. But most millionaires brush their teeth. They have a fair countenance. They get up early in the morning and they believe what's on the inside of them. And they did that way before they became millionaires. And I'm challenging you to fix yourself up. It doesn't matter what I hurt so bad, Anthony. I'm not telling you to have a false sense of security, but I'm telling you your self-image is built on what you have on the inside of you. If you don't believe enough to take care of you, nobody else will. You want, my spouse is just so negative, they so bad. Maybe that's what you projected out to your spouse. Maybe if you projected self-love and self-care and you had a positive self-image about yourself, you can give to your spouse unconditionally. See, but the challenge for a lot of married folk is that they don't want to be the biggest giver in their house because they have, oh my God, can I go here? The challenge with a lot of marriages is you have 2 people that have low self-esteem that are yoked up together and trying to produce something that's whole. As Foster always said, birds of the same feathers flock together. And people who get in these relationships, they find people that validate where they are in that moment. And that's why you see a lot of, I'm gonna go here. Very rarely do you see a whole person marry a person that only knows 50% of themselves. Mainly, if you see 2 whole people, you see 2 whole people. If you see 2 broken people, you see 2 broken people. And you wonder why it's not working, because we got two people who have low self-esteem and not a great self-image of who they are, and they're afraid of being taken advantage of. So I can only give you what you've given me. And we have a marriage that is built in insecurity and self-preservation and fear. And so you never can outperform those self-image or those concepts of each other. See, the moment when you get to the point where I want to be the biggest giver in my house. I remember one of my mentors saying that, hey, I'm the biggest giver in my house. My wife can't outgive me no matter how she try. And when you get to the point where y'all try to outgive each other, like, baby, I just want to do this for you because it's you. And you try to and you ain't worried about the other person taking advantage of you. You talking about having a true and real marriage where you can build something? It's in that environment where God says, man, with two or three other in my name, there I am in the midst. There's complete harmony within that relationship. And that's where you see explosive growth in that relationship right there. But because there's so many individuals that are not in harmony with themselves, there's no way they can be in harmony with a spouse. If I have a negative self-image of myself, I can only project that negative self-image on my children. I can only project that negative self-image on my employees. I can only project that negative self-image to my spouse, because that's how I see myself, and that's how I communicate me to the world. That's a breaking moment right there. And we're saying, well, my marriage don't look like this. My marriage don't look like this because I'm in it. I wish my marriage was this. Then become it. I wish we didn't have to fight and bicker so much. Well, become the person that doesn't fight and bicker so much. Become the person that says, man, I'm going to be the biggest giver in my house. I'm going to be the one to change this negative relationship with my child around. You know what? These children only give us what we reflect to them. The reflection we give them is what they give back. Until I'm able to change my projection to that child, that we have a strange relationship, that relationship will never be healed. One of us, and we say this all the time, I'm going to change. One of us got to be the bigger person. One of us got to have a more positive self-image of ourselves. And we project that positive self-image out. I dare you to call the child that you got the worst relationship with. I dare you to call the spouse that's wayward. I dare you to call the person that whatever with a new mindset about who you are, the awakened I am. The awakened I am. And you begin to communicate with that child, or begin to communicate with that spouse from the awakened I am. I guarantee you they change. Your boss, I heard Edwin just say, I went to my boss. I guarantee you, as you begin to communicate with the awakened I am, how they respond to you will be completely different. That's a breaking moment right there, because you projected them how to communicate with you by what you give out. If you yelling and fussing and cussing and you expect somebody to give you something different than that, then you are absolutely wrong. The seed is within itself. The law of Genesis. The seed is within itself. If I'm fussing and cussing all the time, that's how people going to communicate with me. If I communicate with love and with joy and peace on my mind, that's how the world's going to react to me. It's a break. Even people that don't react that way will react that way to you and don't know why they're doing it. Man, when I see you, you always brighten my day. You know why? You know why I brighten your day? Because my self-image and who I believe I am, that's exactly what I should do. Brighten your day. Man, like, your words are just so inspirational. That's exactly what my words are supposed to be. Why? Because that's who I am to me. That's who I am to me. So my words are supposed to inspire and motivate, because that's who I am to me. It's the self-image of myself. I'm the motivational teacher to the masses. I ain't got masses. That's the image to myself. And I communicate the image that how I see myself to the world. And the world has no other way but to respond. The way I see myself, I'm breaking bread tonight, man. I am breaking bread up in here tonight. And I want to challenge you all to start building. Come on, Lisa. Thank you so much. I want you to start building your own image. Come on, man. I want you to start building a brand new image of who you are, using the great I am words as the foundation to your awakened I am. Start building a brand new image. Start saying, what the great I am says about you. Start believing what the great I am has said about you. Start thinking thoughts of grandeur and how he wants to do me good, and how I not only does he want to do me good, but you know what? He's in me, I in him. I deserve it. Well, you motivational teacher, you ain't supposed to say, that's kind of big-headed to say what you deserve. No, 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 no. The reason why we don't have a lot of things is because honestly, we don't communicate that we deserve it. Like I and him, he and me, I deserve it. I put in the work, I grind. Why not you? Who else hands can God use as a conduit system to get things, to get resources to the hands that where they need to go? Use me. You got to start communicating to this world how the great I am sees you, and start building your own self-image and your self-concept and your self-esteem to be that of one that unites, that adds value to people. It's a bread-breaking moment right now. And the moment you start adding value to those around you, the world will respond to you in a favorable manner, because that's how you view yourself. What I physically see is a mirror. What I physically see is a mirror of what's going on inside of me. If I'm not looking at the picture that I want to see externally, I must go inside and begin under construction. We talked about that sometime. I don't know. I did a whole message on under construction. I must go inside and go under construction in those areas that gives me the most explosive growth. That's why I'm saying, man, all of this stuff ties back together. If you're missing these Motivational Mondays, you're missing opportunities to walk right into the person you're supposed to be, where your reflection to this world is completely different. They told you all your life, I got to work to go get it. And I'm telling you, you ain't got to work to go get it. You got to change your way. You got to change how you reflect. It's a bread-breaking moment. And I hope you all really go back. I know Vanika, I know Lisa, we'll go back and listen to this 5 or 10 times, because I do believe that this message tonight is that powerful. The episode 128, your self-image, man. Like I can do a whole lot of other Motivational Mondays about going 120. I could do a whole lot of Motivational Mondays about commitment. I could do another on no pain, no gain. You got to suffer for a moment. But the most powerful Motivational Monday that I think I've done is this self-love and self-image and self-esteem. Because honestly, how you view yourself really does matter. And when I say, we always share from our overflow. Like I'm not depleted after leaving a Motivational Monday, because y'all are gleaning from my overflow. This is overflow that you see and that you hear right now. So I'm not worried about going bankrupt, because I'm always under construction. I'm not worried about going under bankrupt. I told you, I'm double-digit books in right now. I'm telling you right now, go back, listen to this 5 and 10 times until these words start becoming one with your spirit. Most people don't know how to learn and grow. I'm giving y'all secrets right now. Hey, my homeboy said, Aunt, you be dropping crumbs. And somebody breaking bread. He said, man, like you be showing us the way. You dropping crumbs like Hansel and Gretel. Tonight, I'm dropping crumbs like Hansel and Gretel to get you to your promised land. Most people don't know how to grow. You got to take these words and you got to listen to them over and over and over again. And you got to start making notes and writing down and meditating until these words and you become one. That when these words start seasoning your speech about yourself. This is how you don't grow by listening to something one time and think that's it. The best chill is always better the second or third day. You got to let it, come on, Vanika. I have to let it marinate. You got to let it marinate with you. That's how true change, but we so quick. I'm just going to listen to it one time and I'm going right on down here, listen to something else. I'm going to listen to something else. Never get manifestation from any of it. You don't stick to one thing long enough to see manifestation. You plant one seed here. As soon as you plant that seed, you don't water, you don't tend to it, you don't pick up the weeds. And right there, the weeds choke your seed out because you haven't tended to the seed. that you planted, because you go and move on down the road to plant another seed, and you got very little manifestation, and your image that you communicate and your self-image never changes, and so does your mirror never changes. I'm telling you how to grow. If your goal is to grow, you got to stay somewhere long enough for that seed to take root. And if that seed begin to take root, the root always goes down before it goes up. But some of us so quick to say something doesn't work, and we want to move right down the road, and we never give it time to germinate. Never give the seed time to germinate, and we're mad and angry about why stuff never works for me. It's not working for you because you don't work for you. That's your self-image. Right on to the next thing. And as soon as that thing has one or two issues with it, right on to the next thing. You never give it time to germinate. And you wonder why I don't have growth in my life. It's because you've never taken the time to grow. You've taken the time to sow, but you've never taken the time to grow. Seed doesn't work without you. A seed does not work without you taking the time to clean up the area, to water it, to fertilize, to pull up the weeds. It will not grow. Stop being so fast to move on and say, man, let me grasp this one concept first. I'm on episode 128 of Awaken Your I Am. This started 2 years ago with one message, Awaken Your I Am. I had no idea that 2 years later, I'll be 120 episodes into Awaken Your I Am. It's chasing one thought. All the way through, it's chasing one thought. And I don't know how long I'll be on Waking Your I Am. At some point, I'm pretty sure I'll move on to something else. But I tell you what, it's taken me 2 years to chase one thought. And you're so quick to want to go on to the next thing, and you have not given this thing time to marinate. You want to grow. I'm telling you how to grow. Growth takes discipline. Growth takes commitment. But most of all, it takes an image of, man, I deserve this. So I'm worth the work. My seed is so precious that I got to water it, that I got to pull up the weeds, that I got to put fertilizer around it. I got to give it time to germinate. I got to care for it. My seed is that precious. Until you get to the point where you believe you're worth the work, you'll never put the time in to grow the seed, because subconsciously you planted it, but you didn't believe you were going to ever get a harvest from it. And so you never spend the time with that seed that's needed, because subconsciously your image of who you are already communicated. This is just me doing one more thing that don't work. And you never will. And it's not because of the seed. It's because of the image of the person that planted it. I know that's strong talk, but I got to get you to see how to grow. I got to start getting you to understand how you grow. Most people think growth is a natural process. Growth, self-development and personal growth is not a natural process. It's not a natural process because nobody has taught us how to do it. They taught us how to go through school and regurgitate everything we heard. They taught us how to go to a job and work that machine or whatever we do on that job for 40 hours a week. But nobody showed us how to grow, how to do personal growth and development. They tell you to work hard. Listen to 99% of the motivation speakers out there. They're telling you about how hard you got to work to get to where you want to go. You got to do what others won't do, which I don't disagree with. You got to go 120, which I don't disagree with. You got to find what you're passionate about, which I don't disagree with. But none of that works until you have a positive self-image that sees your self-worth going 120. You see your self-worth the commitment. You see your self-worth the growth. You see your self-worth the spiritual development. None of that stuff works until you improve your own self-image. None of it. And I can sit here, I promise you, I can get you so high you'll be ready to run through the wall. But once you get on the other side of the wall, what in your life has changed? Not much, because there's no plan of personal growth and development. There's some of us that we've been praying for things our whole life, that we've been going to church sowing money for our whole life. And it's, listen, I get it. They help germinate, they help sow, they help fertilize the seed. I get it, but you're not spending time improving you. And you are the secret sauce, and you are the key to making all these things around you work. I can do all things. You can do all things. You can do all things, but you got to be strengthened. You got to be strengthened. All things are possible to him believes. Yes, all things are possible. But you got to be willing to fertilize that seed. You got to be willing to commit to your seed when nobody else will. And you can't be so quick to move on to the next thing. I'm challenging some of you all to take some time to germinate, to learn, and to grow, to see yourself getting to the next level, because it's in that process where you improve you. That's why I'm always comfortable showing up, not knowing who else is going to show up besides me. I remember when I was doing it was just me, my mom, and my wife on these things, and I showed up every week because I understand that this process is making me into the motivational teacher to the masses. It's not the masses that makes me the motivational teacher. It's the process that makes me the motivational teacher to the masses. And I understand I might have to do this 7 years. I might have to do this 9 years. I might have to do this 10 years, but I'm committed to this process. And I'm okay because I'm loving what I'm becoming through the process of becoming. And I'm challenging you to stop falling in love with just, I want to see the end result. Fall in love with the process of the making of the person that whose image can attract that. Fall in love with that process. If you fall in love with that process, it's no longer work. But now it's part of me becoming. I love my personal growth, my personal development. I love getting into these books and trying to find new concepts, new images, new stories that help me grow. Why? Because it's a part of my process of becoming the motivational teacher. And until the moment till you fall in love with the process, fall in love with the process, you'll never have to work again. How can I talk for 1 hour with six lines of notes? Because I'm embracing the process. How can I get on here and pop on here and not any two messages are the same? Because I'm falling in love with the process. And I'm challenging you today. I heard stories about how we're improving out there. I'm seeing the stories. I'm loving it. But I'm even telling you, there's another level to who you are. There's another gear. There's another level. And the more and more of you fall, and thank you, Mom, you fall in love with this process, the greater you become in the process and the more you can attract in this process. Believe it or not, your self-love, your self-image, and your self-esteem tells the world how to communicate with you. Yo, it's your boy, the motivational teacher to the masses. I appreciate you all chiming into this conversation. I know I had to have north of 100 comments tonight. I appreciate your engagement. I appreciate you showing up every Monday with zeal and enthusiasm. I love it. You all energize me. And so I want to tell you all, man, that when you show up here, I do not take your time for granted. There will always be fresh bread on the table. And until next time, I am challenging you to wage war on mediocrity. Your boy is out.
It ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage